So we are on Learning Target 5, Day 2, and we're going to take a look at distributive property with variables. Yesterday we looked at distributive property with just numbers. So distributive property is when you distribute. So we do the A times B plus A times C. A more common example that you might be used to seeing is something like the quantity x minus 3 times 5. Now in this case, the 5 is behind the parentheses. You're probably used to seeing it out front like it was up here, but you can still distribute. 5 times x is 5x, 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. So let's take a look at a few quick examples. Hopefully by the end of the video or by the end of the day tomorrow, you will be able to say, I can simplify expressions using the distributive property. So we are going to look at distributive property using integers, fractions, and decimals, and hopefully keep sharp what we looked at yesterday. So first is distributing a 6. 6 times a is 6a, and 6 times 10 is 60. What I would like you to do is jot down this example, see if you can figure out how to distribute it, and then turn the video back on after you attempt it to check your answer. So we have a negative times 18 is negative 18a, and a negative times a negative is positive 17b. Next slide, we're taking a look at decimals. So we are going to multiply an integer times a decimal. So we're going to think back to some of the skills we learned yesterday. 3 times 40 cents is $1.20, and 3 times $1.10 is $3.30. I'd like you to do the same thing. Pause the video, distribute, and see if you can get the answer on your own. So we have $1.20 times 3 is negative $3.60. And then $1.20 times 60%. So now we're going to have to use some of our skills from yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and jot down a quick box, splitting up my 1 and 2 tenths with my 6 tenths. 1 times 6 tenths, and 6 tenths times 2 tenths. Remember, it's got to be smaller than either numbers we started with. 2 numbers behind the decimal point in the question, so 2 numbers behind in the answer. So combining those, 60 cents plus 12 cents is 72 cents. And don't lose your variable. And remember, a negative times a negative is positive. So here I had the negative 120 times the negative 60 cents gave us that positive 72 cents. Next, we're going to look at distributing fractions. So remember that the denominator means divide. So when I distribute my 2/3 to my 9x, I'm going to divide by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3, times 2, my numerator, is 6x. So let me show you that off to the side in case you didn't follow me. Remember, put a 1 under the 9 if you like to turn it into a fraction, and I divided by my 3 before I multiplied by 2. And then distributing over here, since 4 is not divisible by 3, I'm going to multiply my numerator by the integer 4 and get 8/3. And leave it as an improper fraction. We don't insist on mixed numbers at the high school level. So one more time, try this one, and then turn the video back on to check your answer. So here, when I do my 1/2 times negative 3/5, I don't see anything that I can simplify. There aren't any common factors. So I've got negative 3/10 y. And then over here, again, I'm going to divide by my 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. One last question. There's a sale on t-shirts. We buy 8 of them. How much do we pay? So this is very similar to the one we saw yesterday. I'm buying 8 t-shirts for $5.49. And actually, instead of splitting it up this way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use distributive property with subtraction instead, because 49 cents is 50 cents minus 1, and it's easier to multiply by 5 and 1 than 4 and 9. So I'm going to change this to $5 plus 50 cents minus a penny, because $5.50 minus a penny is $5.49. So I'm going to use the second one for distributing. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 50 cents. If you have 50 cents and you have 8 groups of it, you have $4 minus 8 pennies, because a penny times 8 is 8 pennies. So I have $44 minus 8 cents is $43.92. And here are your You Try problems for tomorrow.